Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel Aino, and I'm so excited to be here to have this very conversation with you about getting fully funded scholarships or education in the United States. So, again, the focus of today's workshop is going to be more about those who are looking for opportunities for graduate school in the United States in particular. Some of the things I'm going to be talking about today is going to be applicable to those who also want to go to Canada. Some of those things will be applicable to those who want to go to UK or Australia, New Zealand, but primarily my focus will be United States because that is the experience that I have. So without wasting your time, let me share my screen and let's get started. So as you can see, I have titled this fully funded education in the US and Canada, even though, again, like I said, my focus is going to be more about the United States because that is the experience that I do have. So let's get started. What does that mean? What does fully funded education means? Number one, it means tuition waiver. It means that your tuition will be waived or paid for by the institution. Then there will be bi-weekly stipend, which you'll be paid. Some schools pay between 1,004 to 2,000, depending on whether you are in STEM or non-STEM field. So which means every month you'll be earning close to $1,400 to $2,000. Then that's is made possible through what is called graduate assistantship or teaching assistantship or research assistantship. As a graduate assistant, you'll be doing more of administrative work. As a teaching assistant, you might be teaching a class or co-teaching a class or supporting a professor who is teaching a class to grade, to do tutorials, or you can be a research assistant on a project, conducting literature reviews, are collecting data, analyzing data. And this also means that when you go to embassy for visa, they will not ask you for additional financial requirements because the school will give you an I-20 that shows that they are funding you. Except if you want to bring a dependent like your spouse, your wife or your husband, or your children, that is when you begin to show more evidence of funding. So you need to show that you can take care of them. So some schools require you to show about $2,000 per person. Some require about $4,000 per person. Some require more. So you need to know what each school really requires. How do you get it? Number one, you need to decide what you want to study. Do you want to study for a master's or a PhD? What course do you want to study? Be flexible about the course you want to study. Some courses are called different names in different, even in America, in different schools. For instance, I did educational technology in Nigeria, master's. Um, in America, that same course is called learning sciences. It's called learning design and technology. It's called educational technology. It's called instructional design. It's called instructional technology. So be flexible. Know what your courses are, what courses you want to do, know what they are called so that you don't cheat yourself. Search for the schools that you want. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. Do research about program fees and admission requirements, and you will do that on the school website. Prepare your documents, apply and follow up. Then indicate that you need GA funding during application. Some schools we ask you, you need to let the school, maybe the program coordinator, know you are interested in GA position. Some school you don't even need to tell them because they will give you, there will be a part of the application that where you will need to indicate whether you want GA, TA, or RA funding. If I were you, I would tick the three of them because anyone that comes first, I'll take it up. Um, there is none that you do that is a minus. I've been a research assistant. I've been a teaching assistant. I'm currently a graduate assistant working on doing administrative support, and I do enjoy it. So depending on what you really have access to. But let's look at the documents that you need. Number one, you need transcripts. And for transcripts, I always recommend that people do WES. I think WES is World Evaluation Services, and I'll show you the website, what it looks like, statement of purpose, what it looks like, curriculum vitae, you should know that. Recommendation letters are what we call reference letters in Nigeria. Your referees will write recommendation letter for you. I always encourage people, get professors to write that for you. At least two of your recommenders should be professors. One can be maybe in business or a professional, but at least two of them should be. If you can get three people who are professors, excellent. And it has to be well written recommendation letter, because when your recommendation letter takes about 30% to 40% of your admission. Many people don't know, you need to give it a lot of attention. Writing samples, not all schools ask for writing samples. I didn't write writing samples. Many people don't write it, but some school ask for it. GRE is currently waived because of COVID, and some programs don't even ask for GRE. Then TOEFL is waived for Nigeria in most schools. Then you are going to pay an application fee, which is not here. Some schools don't charge for application, like the MTU, Michigan Tech University, and so many universities don't ask for application fee, but a lot of them do. So you need to prepare to pay application fee, which can range between $50 and $150. So let's stop here. I'm going to just go back and stop here and go to do some demonstrations. So this is the map of America, and then you can get one on Google and look at all the states in the US. You can search for universities, of course, by states. So the first thing I talked about is WES. WES is World Education Services, not evaluation. World Education Services. This is WES site, wes.org. Go there and you can come to WES and say, get evaluation, and that is the way you start. You know, you choose the country where you want to go, whether US or Canada, and then you create an account. So after you create an account, you should be able to, they will send you a code that you take to your school, your transcript office in your where you graduated from. Then your school, you pay some token to that school, and then to the school in Nigeria where you are, and then they will send your transcript to WES. You pay for courier services. So when you come to WES, they'll ask you, for all the information. Then you need to select the package. Here are some packages. I recommend you do this 208 package, which is a lot, of course, but again, it has a lot of benefits. If you can't afford that, just click on other packages and you can do this 147. The benefit is that they are going to verify your transcript, store and send it to institutions for you. So even if you need your transcript in the future, you don't need to go back to your school. You just need to come back to WES, because WES will store it for you. And many organizations know WES as a credible organization. So this is what a sample of the evaluation looks like when it is done and it is finished. So they will all your courses that you did in Nigeria, they will convert it to American standard and send it to the school. So let's move away from that to go to Google. I'm in education. So let's assume I want educational psychology PhD program in the US. I type it into Google and Google gives me examples of schools, PhD in educational psychology in UA, University of Alabama, Ball State University. You see all of that. You can click for more if you need more, and then it will give you more schools, but you may not even do this. You can do this. You can look for more schools, just document all the schools. I opened a few of them. This is Ball State University. And then if you scroll down, you see this is the PhD program, everything they are asking for. And then you look at all the admission requirement. That is the first thing you look at. What are they asking for admission? When is the deadline for application? What does their admission, what are they looking for? So you just ask for that. And then if you go up, you see where you can apply. You can request for information. You can contact them. Can you see? To show your interest, that you're interested in applying to their program. What do you need to know? They will send you all the information that you need to know. And then you can also look for information of faculty, their faculty or what I call, let me come here and look for, I actually opened one down. This is another school. This is the program coordinator, the graduate program coordinator for the education psychology for Arizona. You can contact the person directly, Karen Kessler, for instance. I'm using education because that is what I know. If you're in Agric, you go to College of Agric in that school. How do you do that? It's so simple. Just go to the university website and look for academic. Most schools use academic. You can use graduate admission, graduate program. Just search until you find your college and the program that you're looking for. So, and then most times I tell you, you on the website, you also see a list of faculty in your program. So this is Arizona. These are the list of the faculty, for instance, and their email. Look at their research interests. And I opened one of them. I think I opened Jonathan Tullis. And can you see, it will tell you, I just click on his name and it took me to his page. You see his position, his research interest. You get to see his CV, his research lab. You get to see all of those information. Try and read. Can you see this is his CV? This is his research. You get to see all of those things. Study those research very well. Are those research in alignment with your interest? Look for faculty that has research interest that aligns with your interest. Okay, that is very important, because the people, if the faculty, if your research interests do not align with the faculty there, they might not be able to recruit you. They might not, because the funding that they have that they want to use to sponsor you, that funding has been given to them for a purpose, for their research. So your research should align with their interest. If your research align with their interest, they will be able to recruit you and fund you. You know, most of them have funding that have been given to them by different organizations for research. That is what they use to pay you as a research assistant, as a teaching assistant. So the next thing I'm going to show you is another page of another professor in another school. You get to see the biography of the professor. You get to see their focus area, their projects, their research, and that kind of thing. That is very important, that that you should not miss it. So what's the next thing? I mentioned curriculum vitae A. I'm going to show you examples of that. So here you have examples from when I was this is an example of a CV that is accepted in the United States. Your address, your name, your contact information, your research interest, your education, and any other thing, your job history. Don't put nationality, the zona, what do we call it in Nigeria now? Your zone, I mean, not. Don't put all of those things. Married, children's name, age, gender. No, they are called discrimination in the Western world. Your CV, especially in the US and some part of Canada, this is the standard. All those biographic informations are not needed on your CV, so don't put them there. So this is not the best CV. This is just my old CV. I have improved. This is 2020. This is 2022. This is 2020 version of my CV, which I have updated over time. So this is an example of. So if you need a CV, this is not bad. I'm not saying this is still a very good CV. Okay, but what I want to say is go to Google, look for samples of graduate school CV, academic CV, and edit them. Use those samples for your own. Make sure they are very good CVs that represent academic work. Then you look at statement of purpose. Go online for samples. This was what I use for my own studies. What does the statement of purpose contain? A brief introduction about the program you want to apply to, who you are, why you're applying to that program, your research interest, why you are interested, the gap you want to research, or maybe questions that are interesting to you in terms of research, the faculties that you are willing to work with in that school, and why. What that means is you want to tell us who are the people that your research interest aligns with theirs in that program, about 2 to 3 faculty. Then what do you want to do? Why are you coming to that school? You want to talk about what you want to do after graduation. So try as much as possible to to be concise and straightforward. Don't repeat yourself. Don't show. Don't tell them that you are a good person. Show them what makes you a good person in your statement of purpose. Don't tell, show. Let your statement of purpose. This is not this, I wouldn't write this if I were to apply to a graduate school again. This is not the best example. I've sent it to people to use as sample, but not as the best sample. There are a lot of sample, great SOP samples, statement of purpose samples on Google that you can download. You should never copy anybody's SOP. Just see them and learn from them. See what great statement of purpose look like and write yours. This is my wife's own that she used for graduate school, and it's just also 2 pages. Don't do more than 2 pages. You don't need more than 2 pages because faculties don't really have that time to waste. So that is what it look like. Then your recommendation letter, I will tell you, write your recommendation letter. Many of the professors are busy, professionals are busy. Write it and send it to them. Write a quality recommendation letter for yourself. You know, don't tell, show who you are, what you have done, and it should be in he has done, Samuel has done, all of those things. Samuel is, and then you send it to those people, they edit it, and then they send it on your behalf. If you have professors who can sit down and give you quality recommendation letter, that's good for you, but many people don't have the time. And a lot of people write great recommendation letter that I do know, but not very many people. So if you can write the 3 recommendation letter or 4 recommendation letter by yourself, do, and send it to your recommenders or referees, and then they can rework it, improve on it, rewrite it, or they can decide to use theirs. But again, I always recommend that you write it and send it to them. Then writing sample, like I told you, not many schools ask for it. Some schools do, but not all schools. So those are the things that you need for admission. You need your transcripts, you need your statement of purpose, your curriculum vitae, your recommendation letters. Very, very important. Then your GRE is going to be waived. Your TOEFL is going to be waived. Many schools are waiving GRE. And not all schools are asking for GRE anymore. Some schools are not even asking for it anymore. Application fee, not all universities ask for application fee. So get to know that. So those are the things that you need for admission. What you need actually is applying to a school that has funding. When you read on the website, you will see funding information. We have GA opportunities. They will say it's competitive. Yes, it's always competitive, but the truth is, if you apply and your admission package is competitive, you will get it. It's not as difficult as many people think. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you today. If you have any question during the questions and answer, I'll be more than happy to respond to your questions. So again, these are the things that you need. It's not that difficult. You will indicate that you need funding during the application process. So there's a place where you feel, and they will consider you for funding, during the application process. So I don't know if I was able to meet your need. Maybe you are expecting something more bogus than this. It's not bogus. It's not tedious, but again, it takes a lot of effort. It's not complex, but you need to put effort. You need to seek for counsel and guide. Please make sure that your write-ups, whether your CV, whether your statement of purpose, your recommendation letter, are error-free, and don't plagiarize. Don't copy other people's work and use it as yours. Don't do that. Do quality work, give it to people who can critique it, who can edit, who can give you feedback, and submit excellent package for admission. I can assure you, if you do that, many of you are going to get accepted. You may try once, it may not work. It might be the second time, it might be the third time. The first time I applied, it didn't work out. It was the second time that I got it. Some people get it once, some people get it twice, some people get it 3 times. So prepare your mind for that, and don't give up. Keep trying, keep asking questions. And I would like to stop at this point. I think I'm almost getting to about 20 minutes. I wish you all the best in your search journey. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, have a great rest of your day.